So if you're an absolute diehard fan of the NMD R1, will you like the S1? Hopefully I'll be able to answer that question for you guys in this video, as well as compare it to some of the other sneaker models that you guys see out here. So let's go ahead and get into the comparison. What is going on, guys? Hes here. Hopefully you're having a good day out there. If you guys are new to my sneaker channel, please consider subscribing. And if you haven't used my website, Collective Kicks, I basically just curate a bunch of sneaker deals that I find on Nike and Adidas, post them over there on the website. So check that out, always in the description also. I did a detailed review of the Adidas NMD S1 already. This is a new model. They released a very small, limited quantity on the confirmed app as of the point of this video. But I'm sure more pairs will end up dropping as the months go on. But it's a completely new model of NMD, one that we have not seen before. And it's kind of a crazy looking pair of sneakers. I think some people are going to really like the look of them. Some people are not. Some people are going to really like the fit of them. Some people are not. And because of that, I think it's a bit more of an opinionated pair of sneakers than the NMD R1 Primeknit. I feel like this is a fan favorite across the board out there. I did a review of an NMD recently, and I talked about this. Like, a lot of my friends' kids have NMDs. A lot of my friends' parents have NMDs. And like, maybe us diehard sneakerheads don't have NMD R1s that we wear on a regular basis too much anymore, but it's definitely a pair of sneakers that have hit the masses. Now that's a good thing because it sells a lot more of these. This is basically like Adidas' version of the Air Max 270, which is a really popular shoe from Nike that a lot of regular non-sneakerhead people really like. But the thing is, I think the S1 is definitely going to be more sneaker centric because of the overall look of the shoe. It's just so crazy and out there and futuristic, so it might alienate some of the people that really like the R1s because it's so aggressive. But also the fit of this shoe is unlike anything that we've really seen before as well, at least from this like casual sneaker side. It's extremely heavy at 1 pound 1 ounce for a men's 9.5. I have a men's size 9 here, and I believe this is 9.5 ounces, so significantly lighter than the really beefy thick boy style of the NMD S1. So the extra weight of this is definitely due to the midsole of the shoe. It's extremely bottom heavy. For those people that like that light, nimble feel of the NMD R1, that's going to be a huge culture shock when you try on this shoe. I think that fundamentally speaking though, this shoe should not be directly compared to this shoe. I know I'm doing a comparison video to it, but I'm letting you know that they're so vastly different that it's not a fair comparison. It's like pitting a featherweight against a heavyweight. They're just completely different, and you can't really put them in the same ring. So I wanted to throw that out at the beginning of the video. The main reason why I have all these other sneakers out here is because there's some sort of elements on some of these other sneakers that combined kind of equal this sneaker right here, which is kind of cool. I like that it feels like there's some inspirations from other sneakers that help develop and create what we have here, which is truly unique looking in itself. With that being said, we'll start off with the R1 and kind of work our way down. On the NMD R1, look at the midsole and the outsole traction. The outsole actually protrudes downwards, like in a downward slope, versus the S1 that angles upwards. You could see that the inspiration for the blocks on the sides of the shoes definitely escalated and elevated a bit, as you see 1, 2, and 3 of the blocks on both pairs of sneakers. So they kind of kept that energy the same, but definitely shifted and changed it up a bit. There is no rubberized heel collar on the back of the shoe, as well as no pull tab. The additional hardware of the lace holes has actually been replaced, just integrated directly in the Primeknit upper, which I think is a smart move as well. So it's nice to see the reduction in materials there. On the S1, you do have a little tongue tag here with a dash on it, then the Trefoil logo on the inside. It's flip-flopped on the other one, as I mentioned in the review. And you do have the 3-stripe logo in the middle of the shoe on both of the shoes, but they are kind of seamlessly built into the shoes, which I do appreciate. The outsole traction is obviously vastly different. We have a much more rugged traction down here that I'll get into in some of the other comparison. The toe box section actually sits up a little bit higher on the S1s versus the R1s, and also the Primeknit material in general is completely different. It was very stretchy on the R1s. It's only stretchy around the collar of the S1s, however, versus the entire Primeknit on the R1s. So the Primeknit on the toe box of the S1s is definitely very firm, very rough. Some people that really like the R1s might not like this on the S1s because it was very soft on the R1s. The R1s also is one of the shoes that did not have any insoles on it, which actually I really liked. You rode directly on the ADIDAS Boost technology, which I think looks cool as well, but there is no insole. You do have an Ortholite insole on the S1s, and then there is actually a cover over the Boost on the insole of the shoe. There is Boost in the NMD S1, however, this is encased Boost versus the raw Boost that you see exposed out here on the R1s. So the encased Boost is actually pretty cool. But moving on from the R1, we have the Adidas UltraBOOST 21. I know it's a weird comparison because this is a performance running shoe. However, they do have some similarities to the overall thickness of the midsoles as well as the shape and the heel up in the back. I feel like the S1 is almost like the equivalent of the UltraBOOST 21. However, it's like the lifestyle version versus obviously the performance version. And this is like the lifestyle version gone off the crazy end with the crazy spikes on the bottom of the shoe. Also, for those wondering, the Primeknit on the UltraBOOST is actually more stretchy in the toe box section than it is on the NMD S1. This section is definitely a lot firmer than what you have on the UltraBOOST 21. And the UltraBOOST 21 features Adidas Prime Blue, which is a recycled polyester like upper. And so I feel like the S1 has a Prime Blue or a Prime Green upper, but honestly, I don't know. I didn't say anything on the box. Now I have these other two out here for comparative purposes because you do have some similarities to the way it feels on feet, because both of these versions of the NMDs from Pharrell have different traction on the bottoms. So for those that didn't know, the original Pharrell Human Race NMDs just have a regular outsole like this, and this traction is pretty much exactly the same as the NMD R1. However, they released a couple different versions that have a lot of different traction on the bottom of the shoe. This one is a little bit different, and this one has a lot of lugs on the bottom. And these lugs honestly feel very similar to the S1s on feet, just because they are quite elevated and big. The difference in the S1s though is it has a trefoil logos all over the place, so it's kind of like a different lug pattern. But that part of the shoe feels really very similar because you have like a trail-like sole. You also do have a different variation of Primeknit uppers from the Pharrell line as well, but none of them are like this one. This one is definitely different, rough on the upper. Shout out to Nick from the last video. He actually mentioned that the outsole lugs reminded him of an AW collaboration that had similar kind of lugs around the outsole of the shoe. They are different outsoles, but obviously it drew some sort of inspiration from that shoe. Next up, we have that Yeezy 380 versus the S1. And this one features an encased boost midsole. So it's very similar there, but it also has a curvature that goes upwards in the back, similar to the S1s. Also, the other big similarity between these two is they have that fish wire mesh window on the sides of the shoe. Both of them kind of have that on each of them. Now this one's kind of green, obviously, because it's colorway, but a lot of times it's white and clear. So interestingly enough, they both have a couple very similar elements. And honestly, the upper on the 380s is the closest thing that you're going to get to the S1s. It is very, very firm as well, similar to this, but this is even more rugged still on the S1s. And somebody else mentioned it in the comments of my review video of these. Shout out to that person. But the Adidas ZX2K Boost, this one also features an encased midsole. As you could see here, it's Boost on the front and then Boost back here, and the rest of the midsole is encased, as you could see here. And so it's somewhat similar, but obviously very different on feet. So how do these feel on feet comparison to everything out here? Well, honestly, like I said, it's completely unique. It's different than anything that we've seen out here. You definitely feel more Boost in the S1 than you do in the Pharrells. You feel more Boost in the S1 than you do in the R1s. You feel more Boost in this than pretty much anything else out here other than the Adidas UltraBOOST 21. It's almost comparable in here, but honestly, I feel like I feel it a little bit better in the S1s as well. That being said, the curvature of the shoe is very similar to the UltraBOOST 21, the Yeezy 380s as well, but it's also mixed with the lug pattern of something like the Pharrell trails that you can see here. So it's kind of like, again, a combination of everything. The encased boost of the 380s, the boost feel of the UltraBOOST 21s, and then the outsole traction of the Pharrell trails. And that's kind of what you get in the midsole here. You don't get a traditional NMD feel. So for those people that were thinking, obviously, I don't know how you would be thinking it because it's such a different, vastly different look. But if you had the R1s and you were really looking forward to trying on the S1s, thinking you would give you like an updated version of comfort, it's not that. It's a different style of comfort. It's still comfortable, don't get me wrong, but it's definitely very heavy and nothing like the original R1s. You ride a lot higher on the thick boy right here. I mean, it feels like you got another inch of height from the S1 over the R1s. So for those that need that extra boost, I mean, I don't mind having a little extra height. I'm not exactly the tallest guy out here, but these definitely make you sit higher. They definitely have a lot more rugged appeal, and there's a lot of different mixed elements from a lot of the sneakers that I just showed you out here. Anyways, what do you guys think about the Adidas NMD S1? I think this is a really dope shoe. It's not a traditional looking or feeling pair of sneakers. It's definitely out there, and I'm the type of person that really likes something that is this wild and crazy. So thank you to Adidas again for sending this over. Super crazy that I got a pair over to me. And hopefully the comparison was somewhat helpful for you guys. If you guys have additional questions that I missed, feel free to leave them in the comment section. And if I helped you out at all on this video, please drop a like. It means a lot when you guys do that. But have a good rest of the day, and hopefully we'll see you back for some more sneaker content. All right, peace, guys.